memories come to mind when you think about working with Michael Jackson?
Oh, well, that was another one too, where it's like, wow, how did I get here? Because when I was working with Michael, it was, pretty much at his most famous, I would say. It was like,
Oh,
early 90s, and he was for sure the most famous person in the world. And he was great. We were working on an album called Dangerous, and it brought me out to LA. This is 91. And he was awesome and simply the greatest singer I've ever recorded for sure. And he was a perfectionist and very competitive in a way that he really just wanted to, like, a number one album. He just wanted it to be the biggest, most eventful album of all time at that time. And I think that was kind of probably true of everything he did. He just wanted it to be the absolute best it could be,
hmm.
and he would stop at nothing to get it.
Do you have a favorite moment working with him?
Yeah, I've told this story before, but there was one time. It was the first time I recorded his vocals, and we had the idea for the chorus for a song called "Remember the Time." We had the groove and the beat and kind of the song structure, and we had recorded it, but didn't know exactly what the hook was going to be. And Michael had said, "Okay, I'm ready to sing the hook on that one." And back in those days, in R&B music at least, it was very common to record the vocals just once in the chorus
Hmm.
and then fly them in. Now we cut and paste them in with Pro Tools, but back then you had to offset tape machines or put them in a sampler and trigger it with a MIDI and all this stuff. But that was the normal way of doing things, and that was the way we always did it with Teddy Riley, who was the producer. And so I said, "Michael, you want me to just go to the first chorus?" And then he said, "No, play it from the top." So I played it from the top, and we got through the first chorus, and he sang the first note, and I pressed stop, and he said, "Why'd you stop?" I said, "Well, we're just getting the choruses. We don't need to go any further. We'll fly him in to the rest." And he looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" And then I, just went back to the top again, and he sang it all the way down to the end of the song, and then he did a double the same way, and then another note with maybe a double and a triple. I don't remember, but we did, like, 9, 12 tracks of chorus vocals, each one being a little bit different, but each one being super tight. Like, all of his breaths were totally aligned, and his timing was great. His pitch was perfect, and we were done in like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Whereas if we had done it the other way, it would have taken me an hour or whatever to fly all the offsets and find the offsets on the synchronizers and all this
Hmm.
stuff we used to have to do. And I thought to myself, man, this is so much quicker to just do it this way. Why don't we do it all the time like this? And then I remember that's because you're not recording Michael Jackson all the time. So,
Yeah. Do you remember how did Michael prepare before singing?
well, he would very often, we'd be waiting to, we'd have every day we'd have kind of a to-do list of what was going to kind of get done that day. And after a while, we got to the point where the only thing that was on the to-do list for the most part was for Michael to sing, because he would put it off and put it off. And I came to realize that he was really just putting it off, even though, we knew what the lyrics were, we knew what the song was. Maybe we had the chorus vocals already, but he hadn't done the lead vocal. It was because he was really waiting till he was absolutely ready. Like, he knew it, he knew what he was going to do, and then when he would come in, he would just focus and just sing it a million times and then comp it. But he was an amazing singer, amazing singer.
Hmm. Yeah, I always wondered how loud did he sing? Did he sing?
How long did he
Loud. No,
say?
loud, loud,
How
loud.
loud? He
Yeah.
would sing loud. He had very. He would scream.
Uh-huh.
He would scream. Yeah. Uh, and he would also. The other thing was he would always be. His foot would be keeping time, and he. One of the first things he said, he's like, "Don't erase any of that stuff. Don't erase the breaths. Don't erase the stomping." Because that, I'm guessing maybe because at some point somebody had erased some of that stuff, thinking, well, we don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And he very intentionally was putting that stuff in. It was part of the groove. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm. And do you remember the vocal chain you used for that album?
not really, but I'm pretty sure we used the Neve console mic pre, different mics. Later on, Bruce Swedien came in and he recorded a lot of the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Bruce's chain was a 1073, I believe, an 1176, and then mics would change, but it was often either a C12 or a 47, and then an SM7 was a very common one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To watch the full video, click the link below and don't forget to subscribe.